All right, I think just a couple of reminders, silent cell phones if you haven't, please. Whoa, a little hot, I think, guys. A little hot up here, okay. We'll use microphones, and again, identify yourself, your affiliation each time. We appreciate that. Direct your question to a particular individual. 16,814 was the attendance. That is a sellout, and it's one ticket for both games, so it's a one session for the two games. 16,814. Tomorrow we'll begin at 11:30 a.m. here. We'll have the Boston University crew back here at press conference, and then at 12:50 we will have Western Michigan here. And at 1:30, we have the State of the College Hockey press conference with Steve Metcalf, who's the Commissioner of Hockey East, and also the Chair of the Hockey Commissioners Association, Scott Sandelin, member of the Men's Ice Hockey Championship Committee, the head coach at Minnesota Duluth, Steve Chapman, who's the Executive Vice President for the St. Louis Blues, and Tim Trovel, who is a Senior Associate AD at Harvard, and, of course, the Chair of the Division I Men's Ice Hockey Championship. So that'll be at 1:30. Then I think you all know you're invited to the adjacent Stiefel Theater for the presentation of the major awards, including the Hobie Baker. Doors open at 4 o'clock. Your credential will get you into the media seating areas, and then it's a live television show from 5 to 6 p.m. on NHL Network. Boston University back in the national championship game, first time since 2015. That was in Boston. And of course, we'll have a brand new national championship game matchup with Western Michigan and Boston University. That has never happened before in the first 76 years of the championship. Again, just like we did the first game too, as a reminder, we'll take an opening statement from Coach Pandolfo, and then take your questions for the players. Then let them go and finish up with whatever else you have for Jay. Anybody have any useful tidbits of information I can recite from the podium? No? Nothing? Use a Q-tip to clean the outer edge of the ear and do not stick it all the way in. Okay. There we go. We're rolling now. That's a good PSA. That's our first one. Q-tips, carbon monoxide, yeah. What do we got going here? Of course, a team from Michigan has won the first two national championships played here in St. Louis, Michigan Tech in 75, Michigan State in 2007. So could be the third straight Michigan team in Western Michigan that wins here in St. Louis. We'll find out on Saturday, of course. Wisconsin won the Division I Women's National Championship. As I think you all know, beat Ohio State 4-3 in overtime. Those two teams have met the last three years for the national championship. We've had that one time on the men's side. St. Louis was in the middle of it, 74, 5, and 6. Michigan Tech and Minnesota played in the national championship each of those 3 years. There you go. Are we going to remember all this? No? All right. You can go back and watch the recording. I'm assuming everything worked okay upstairs? Yeah, that's good. Sounding like some terriers are coming through here. All right, we will begin with some opening thoughts from Coach Pandolfo. Jay?
Yeah, obviously excited. We found a way this year to win this game. In the last 2 years, we couldn't get through the semifinal, so certainly a step in the right direction, give us an opportunity here to play for a national championship. I thought overall, the first 2 periods, I thought we played real well. Didn't give up a whole lot. We know how they play. Like they're really good in transition. The only chances they really had were on transition. They had They had the breakaway on the penalty kill. But other than that, they didn't have a whole lot of chances, even strength, in the first 2 periods. I thought we did a really good job. I thought in the third, it's hard to end a team's season. So you knew they were going to push. And they're a team that funnels everything to the net, and that's how they ended up getting that first goal there. And it certainly gave them life, and they started believing, and they were putting everything to our net. And someone took care of a lot of those shots. Big Mike did a heck of a job there in the third when we were a little bit under siege. But our guys stuck with it. And if you're going to win a championship, you have to find a way to be able to play in those tight games. And we've been in enough of them this year, and real happy.
All right, we'll take your questions for the players first. John?
John Worrell with the Associated Press. This is for Jack, I guess. As a senior, what's it like to finally break through, after what happened in the semifinals the past 2 years, and just to be part of this victory?
Yeah, I mean, for all of us, we all come here for a reason. We want to win a national championship. So just thinking about having the opportunity to do that in a couple days is exciting. It almost doesn't really feel quite real just because it just ended, but that's been our goal the whole way. So it's a little bit of a relief for now, and then we're going to get back to work and hopefully win it all.
Okay, right here in front.
Eli Cloutier, the Boston Hockey Blog. For Jack, your line was, producing tonight, a lot of high-quality chances for you guys in the offensive zone. Just talk to me kind of what was working for you guys tonight.
I think as a team we were successful when we got the puck below the goal line and started going to work. And I think the 3 of us had that mindset the whole game is we're going to try to get it down there, get possession, and then trust each other, win our battles, separate, get some pucks to the net, and some good things happen.
Okay, in the back.
Chris Peters, Flow Hockey. Cole, it seemed like Cole Hudson found you again. It was a pretty late pass, though. I mean, did you always think he was going to get it to you, and what did you see on that play?
Yeah, I think, whenever 44 has the puck, always expecting to get it. He's such a great player, and with him, he was just looking for an angle. I trust he could have went around the net 4 times, and I think he still could have found me. So he's great, and it was a late pass, but great play. So
right here.
Charlie DiMatteo, WTV Sports. Mikhail, Coach kind of talked about you knew, pressure was going to get ramped up from them. Could you feel it, towards the second half of that third period that you were going to face kind of higher volume than you had been previous two periods?
Of course, yeah. I knew that they would. I mean, they're a really good team, and we had a really good pre-scout on them. So I knew that they're gonna funnel everything to the net. But I worked a lot in the gym, so I can face that many shots. So yeah, I expected that, but it was a fun game. It was obviously exciting.
All right, Joe, here. We'll go to Joe and then back over here.
Yes, Mikhail again. How would you
introduce
describe?
Could you introduce yourself?
Sorry, Joe Smith, the Athletic here. How would you describe what the last 3 months has been like for you? This run, coming to BU, and then obviously now you're a couple days away from playing national championship. How would you kind of put that in perspective? What this has been like?
Yeah, 100%. It's been great, of course. Just great coming here and getting a chance to play, and now actually sticking through that whole season basically, and getting trust from coach, getting opportunity to play with those amazing guys, and they treat me as I was the part of their team for like 4 years, so it obviously helped. And but yeah, like as you mentioned, now we're gonna play in national championship, and it's kind of unbelievable a little bit.
On the left back here.
Avery G. Meir, KWUR Sports. Guys, how does it feel to play with a couple of Hudsons and a Celebrini?
Makes the game a lot easier. Tell you that. Oh yeah, that's all I got.
That's very good, very good. Back here on the right.
Chase Fisher from the Daily Collegian. You guys are a lot bigger than Penn State, and we're a lot more physical tonight. Was a point of emphasis going tonight sort of beating down this fast team in Penn State and not letting them have their success in transition?
A little bit, yeah. I mean, I think our mindset was we have to defend first, and then we're going to get our chances. We got to reload on and make sure they don't get behind us, because that's what makes them successful, is they're a dangerous team off the rush. So I think just stick on puck, eliminating their body, not letting them get up the ice was a big part of what we wanted to do, and I think we did a pretty good job of it.
Back over here to the left, Jeremy.
Jeremy Rutherford from The Athletic. Jack, teams are feeling each other out and obviously catch a break there with the puck. Can you just kind of take us through that play and, the ability to get there and poke it in?
I just remember they turned it over. We got a pretty good bounce. I can't remember exactly what it hit, but Maddie shot it. Started driving maybe a little bit too late. We got a fortunate bounce, and it was just laying there. Definitely, obviously, feels good to get on the board early, and play a little bit looser for us, and with a little bit more confidence.
Okay, in front here.
Brendan Nordstrom, BU Today. Just for Jack and Cole, it's been said that the team plays best with its back against the wall. Just what was sort of the reaction when Penn State scored early into the third?
Cole?
Yeah, I think something we're used to. We've played some games where in the Beanpot, BC scored first, Cornell scored first, and Ohio State scored first. So I think in big games, stuff like that happens, but we have great leadership, kind of stay even keel. There's a lot of game left, and in hockey, a lot of things can happen very quick. So whenever that happens, we kind of just settle back in and just keep playing our game.
Jack?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of confidence in our room that we've done it before the whole season. We did it in Ireland. We did it against Ohio State. We can't get too high, can't get too low when we give up goals or when we score. So I think we stayed with it, and we've done it all year. So.
Okay, we're good with the players. All right. Oh, one last one here.
With Child Flow Hockey, Mikhail, you said that you like the pressure and that you just want to keep having fun out there. How much fun did you have tonight?
It was awesome. Again, playing against a great team, it's always fun, and I'm trying to still learn how to deal with that high pressure, and obviously those games help a lot, playing in front of a big crowd, and guys help a lot, and it also helps. But I just try to have so much fun there.
Appears like you're doing a pretty good job.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys, congratulations. We'll let you go.
Thank you.
Some
Thank
rest,
you.
and
Thank you.
we'll continue on with your questions for Coach Pandolfo. John? Yep. See Isaac.
Hi, Jay. John Worrell with the Associated Press. Congrats. What is it like to finally, well, you're familiar with being in a Frozen Four championship as a player. What's it like to finally make it as a coach, after falling short the past 2 years?
Yeah, it feels good. I mean, I was, fortunate playing on really good teams when I was a player at BU, and we only won one time, so I have a pretty good understanding of how hard it is to win when it's just a one game. It's hard. Like the margin for error is slim, and I learned that as a player, and I've learned that as a coach too. Like it's not easy to get here, but once you get here, you still got to find a way to, number one, win the first hockey game so you have a chance to actually play for the national championship. And certainly came up short the last 2 years, and I think it helped our team to have an understanding of you have to play a certain way if you want to get to that final game. And I thought for the most part tonight we did that. So yeah, it feels good to get there, but we certainly hope the job's not done yet.
Okay, in front.
Eli Cloutier, Boston Hockey Blog. You talk a little bit about Jack Hughes and just kind of his, growing role in production over the second half of the season. It just seems tonight he almost made some passes that kind of his line mates didn't even expect to make because they were so kind of incredible. You should talk a little bit about him. Yeah,
he's been excellent in the second half. He's been excellent down the stretch. Arguably our best forward right up there. We had him start killing penalties in the second half when we started being more aggressive because he's quick, he has a good stick, he's a really intelligent player, and I feel like that's helped his overall game. He's obviously on the power play as well, but when you're killing penalties, you stay in the game. It gives you confidence, and I think it's helped his confidence overall. And when he's skating and moving his feet, he's got a great stick, and then his skill takes over. He's got great skill. He's smart. He made a lot of plays tonight. First period, he made 2 or 3 plays where we just didn't put the puck in the net. So I've been real happy with him, and he's really determined right now. He knows this is his last opportunity. So he's been number one, playing great, but his leadership has been excellent for us. He doesn't wear a letter, but he's his leadership on the bench, calming guys down in the room. He's been excellent.
Chris in the back there.
Jay, Chris Peters from Flow Hockey. Bringing in Mikhail at the midseason, what was the decision process there, and how could you have anticipated that this was the guy that was going to bring you to a national championship game?
Well, we just felt he was in Omaha in the USHL, and that was one reason. We wanted to strengthen the goaltender position in the first half. We just felt like we needed some help there, and we thought he could come in and compete for the starting job. And we gave him an opportunity, and he really never looked back. That was kind of the thought process behind it. Could he come in and help, shore up the goaltending position a little bit? And let's see if he can do it. And we watched him a lot. We had a pretty good feel that he was going to be able to help. Whether he was going to completely take over the starting role or not, we didn't know that. But we put him in that BC game, and really he's never looked back. And he's a terrific kid. I think you can see him sitting here. He's just got a infectious personality, and he's really grateful for the opportunity he's gotten, and he enjoys every moment. And he's been a great teammate. There's just a lot of great things about him, and we're certainly glad to have him. He in the third period, made sure that they didn't put another puck in.
Okay, front, Eli.
It seemed like in kind of the first 2 periods,
you
you guys.
introduce yourself?
Oops, sorry, Eli Cloutier, Boston Hockey Blog. It seemed like in the first 2 periods, you guys were kind of breaking out of the zone pretty easily. Was that a little surprising that the forecheck wasn't as hard early on in the game there?
We watched a lot. We pre-scouted them pretty well. We had an understanding of how they forecheck. We felt like we were going to be able to exit our zone pretty clean a lot of times. So it was just kind of the game plan against them. They do a lot of their damage on transition, as you see. And then in the offensive zone, when they do create a turnover, they funnel everything in the net. So it gets difficult. When pucks are coming from everywhere, right? They look for bounces. That's what they did on that first goal they got. So we felt like we were going to be able to exit our zone pretty good tonight, and for the most part, we did.
Okay, in front here.
Claire Smesny, WTBU Sports. We talked a lot about discipline for this team, like the whole year, and you only took 2 penalties tonight. And can you talk about how that might have been a point of emphasis for you guys, and how your success in playing a disciplined game and kind of sticking to your game helped you guys tonight?
Yeah, it was a serious problem in the first half. I mean, I think we're probably still the most penalized team in the country based off of numbers, I would think. But the second half's been a lot better, and that's helped our penalty kill, where you don't have to kill. At the beginning of the year, we were killing 5, 6. Penalties a game, 5-minute majors. There was a lot of issues with that. It's gotten much better second half. I think our guys understand. Like, listen, we're going to continue to do that. It's going to be hard to win hockey games. So, our guys figured that out.
Okay, Joe, and then to John.
Joe Smith, The Athletic. You mentioned how hard it is to get here. Like, your game was supposed to start a little earlier tonight. Like, what was it like to watch that previous game with Western Michigan and DU in terms of what it might show we'll be facing on Saturday?
Yeah, it's difficult when you're sitting there and it's 2-0 in the third period, and you're hoping the game kind of ends and you can get ready for your game, and then it goes they come back and guys are like all already warmed up and ready to go, and then goes into overtime, and you got to kind of figure out a way to stay focused, and then do you warm up again? So our guys handled it really well. They were actually having a lot of fun during it, just to kind of kill the time. So it was credit to them. And yeah, I watched that game pretty closely. Obviously, Western Michigan first 2 periods, really outplayed Denver. But Denver they're not going to quit. They always find a way to come back, and they did. But at the end of the day, Western Michigan found a way to win that hockey game. They're a very structured team. They got a lot of offensive talent. It's going to be a tough matchup for us, but we'll enjoy this and then get to work on them tomorrow morning.
Okay, John, that was good. Yeah, okay. Are we good? One more? Okay, last one here.
Chase Fisher from the Daily Collegian. When you play a team like Penn State, who uses their speed and transition game to their advantage, was there really a point of emphasis of trying to out-physical them tonight?
I don't know if we really talked about out-physicaling them. We talked about more of staying above the puck, making sure they don't get into transition, don't turn over pucks inside their blue line, because they're ready to go north on you all the time. For the most part, we did a pretty good job, but we weren't really talking too much about let's pound them into the wall, any of that sort of stuff. And we want to finish our checks when we have the opportunity, but it's more staying above the puck against them more than anything else.
All right, Coach, congratulations. Thanks very much.
Thanks.
Enjoy the night. All right, we will start by first asking for some opening thoughts from Coach Godowski. Guy?
You know what? It's tough it's always tough when the season ends. But I honestly, I just can't help but feel so grateful is one, and positive about this year and this team, because again, I've said it before, but we were left for dead not long ago, and for these guys to come back and play in St. Louis is remarkable, and better than that is how they did it. They are such great representatives of our university, which is really important at Penn State. And I learned a lesson from them this year. I mean, the way that they stuck together and stayed positive in the hardest times when it would have been really easy not to is really, really impressive. They're really good men, and I'm really proud to be a part of this group.
Thanks, Guy. Questions for the players? John?
John Worrell with the Associated Press. I guess for Aiden, difficult as it feels right now, what's it like to be part of the first program to reach the Frozen Four? And if you can, as difficult as it is to put in perspective what this might mean years later.
Yeah, I mean, obviously it was a great year for us. First Frozen Four for our program. I think it's massive for our program, and it is difficult losing, but you know, the senior class did an unbelievable job with the leadership this year, showing us the way, and you know, we're just gonna get prepared, learn off this, and come back next year ready.
Okay, further questions for the players? You guys good? Okay, right back here.
Will James with Blue White Illustrated. Jimmy, you're a guy that embodied Penn State and made it your home. Can you kind of talk about what it means to you to get to end your Nittany Lion career at one of the biggest stages in the sport?
Obviously, it's super tough with the outcome that happened, but just to be able to wear the Penn State crest for the past 5 years, it means everything to me. And like for Gaz to take a chance on an undersized guy like me and put that trust in me, it really means the world. I really can't put it into words these past 5 years, but just every single guy that's come to this program and the group of guys that we had this year, like I knew it was special the second we all got together at the beginning.
Okay, right here in front.
Evan Smith, Daily Collegian, kind of on the similar subject. What do you want the underclassmen around you to remember and learn from you as they move forward starting next season?
Who's that for?
Jimmy.
Okay, thank you.
Just remember this feeling now. Like it's tough, obviously, with the loss, but this program's in such a better place. And like my coach, Vinny Smith, when I played for the Avs, he said, you want to leave the place better than you found it. And I think that's what we did this year. And it's a testament to our leadership, but also the younger guys and everyone buying in every single day. And just to keep it rolling from here.
Any further questions for the players? Okay, back here on the right.
Justina Ricchini, Penn State Comm Radio. Nick, you had the goal in this contest tonight. Can you just talk about what you, Ben and Dame, when you guys were out there in that third period, what you guys think you did so well to give you guys a shot in that third period?
Yeah, I think we're three players that like to go to work. And, you know, we just kind of said going into the period we're going to simplify our games and try to get as many pucks to the net. You know, fortunately, we were able to get a bounce there, and unfortunately, couldn't get another one.
Okay, yes, sir. Right back here on the right.
Chase Fisher from the Daily Collegian. This is for you, Aiden. Do you guys think the physicality of the postseason got to your top line of View, Genev, and Lawback?
I mean, I would say yeah, no. Obviously, it's postseason. Every player's going to be trying to finish a hit and that stuff, but we have 9 other guys that you know, are all really good. So I'm going to say yeah, no.
Okay, we good, guys? Thanks very much. Appreciate it. Congratulations on a great year. We'll finish up with your questions for Coach Godowski. Okay. Yeah, you guys can go if you would like. Yep. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Guy, Adrian Dater, Center Daily Times. The game started about an hour and a half after than scheduled, and arguably your first period wasn't your best. I'm wondering if that layoff, all that time in the locker room had anything to do with it. No.
No, and it was the same for both teams. And I really liked our guys seemed loose, and no, that nothing to do with our slow start. And I will say we didn't play our best, but at the same time we had a couple breakaways and a couple 2-on-1s. We just didn't finish. So sometimes you don't have your A game and you finish, and until you did. We certainly got momentum later, but when we had chances to, big chances when we weren't playing our A game, we just didn't finish. So.
Okay, right back here on the right.
Justina Ricchini, Penn State Com Radio. Coach, I want to know what the message you had for your team was going into that third period. You guys are obviously down 2-0, had a struggling second period where you gave up 2 goals. What was your message to your team in that locker room before the third period?
The message was that we knew we didn't have our A game going, yet at the same time, it was a 2-goal game, and we had 2 breakaways, a couple 2-on-1s, so we don't have to change. We have to just keep doing what we're doing. And it's going to go. And I mean, when we came out, we got one early, and I really thought we were going to get the snowball rolling. Give BU credit; they found a way to keep the puck out of the net and played very well. But I like what we did. I like everything what we did except finish.
Okay. Any further questions for that? Okay. Chase.
Chase Fisher from the Daily Collegian. I asked Aiden about that top line being out physical, so I figured I'd ask you as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think we played some very physical teams in the Big Ten, and they handled it well. I wouldn't say that. I think if you talk about physicality a little bit, I might say that with the top line, like Reese was at a point where, because he had enough misconducts that the next one would put him out for multiple games. I do know that affected him a little bit, because he's such a tough warrior type player that just in the back of his mind, he had to take his foot off the pedal a little bit when it came to physicality, which is very difficult for a player like Reese to do. But I don't feel that anyone was playing physical on them that took us by surprise or changed things, other than, again, Reese probably couldn't step up as much as he normally would because of his suspensions.
Okay, right here in front on the left.
Evan Smith, the Daily Collegian. After her historic season, reaching the first Frozen Four in program history and getting a lot more eyes on Penn State hockey, plus support from Pat Kraft, how do you think this season can help catapult Penn State perennially into a next tier of college hockey?
I mean, we have work to do for that to happen, but this is a nice start. Whenever you get to check a box that you did something for the first time, it certainly helps. I like to think that the way these guys are helps. I think there's a lot of eyes on our game, but I hope there's a lot of eyes on what type of men these guys are. I mean, they are. They're fantastic students. You look at the senior class, and it's not just what Dylan Lugris did, but there was a question about Jimmy Dowd. I mean, he could be the mayor of State College. He could. Everywhere I go, I mean, people, when I see hockey, they look at me and they ask if I know Jimmy Dowd. And that's a wonderful thing. And then Dylan Lugris, what he did in the community is incredible. The community is going to be a much, much better place because of this senior class and the type of guys they were. So it's not just how we played and the success they had. I think it's what kind of men they are. I think they're just great people that did a lot for this community, and that I'm really proud of that, and I think that will be just as impactful.
Awesome. Any further questions? Good. One more? Okay, last one here.
Anthony Descher, Penn State Sports Night. Guy, you entered the year with a very young team. Just to see how far they've gotten with the talent they have, how hopeful does this leave you for the future?
Yeah. Not only because of the young talent we're hopeful, I think we're more hopeful because of the lesson that the program learned. And the lesson that we learned isn't something you can read about and just say, okay, we got it. Like, you can't. You really need to go through it. And the fact that we were so far back, so left for dead, and came back to make the Frozen Four is something I don't think any of these guys are ever going to forget. I know I'm not. I'm really grateful to be a part of this group because of that lesson. And it's not just a lesson in hockey for next year. I know you're talking about the short term, but it's a lesson that these guys are going to carry with them well beyond Penn State and also well beyond hockey. It's true. You can talk about it as much as you want. That's the way to do things. But when you really are faced with a challenge and you're really in a down spot and you pull each other together and lift each other up and you see success. It's something you don't forget. So for not only because of the young talent, but because of the lessons that we learned, yes, I'm very optimistic about the future.
Coach, thanks very much. Congratulations on a great year. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Fish. Appreciate it.
Last media shuttle departs at 1 a.m., by the way, I'm asked to tell you. So there you have it.